with you live for another episode of Step Up Your Game Day. I'm A.M. Grabelny. Everybody's laughing because I told them I was going to scream in this intro, and I'm doing it. I'm screaming because I'm so excited to get to play LaunchDarkly's quest today. I'm skipping ahead, though. We've got some intros to do. We're here with one of our wonderful partners, LaunchDarkly. I'm going to start with you, Cody, actually, and then we'll talk to the AWS people. But Cody, who are you, and what are you here for?
I am Cody, and it would have been great if you'd been like, "We're here with Cody, but we're going to do him last because we're not as interested." Be great.
I would never do that to you.
Should have leaned in on it. Now you're stuck. Now I have to talk. It's part of the job.
It is the job. That's it.
So I look after developer relations at LaunchDarkly. So we had the cool opportunity to build out this quest for reInvent last year, and it was a lot of fun. And now we're here to see if you can break it.
I can break anything. I guarantee. We'll go over to Melina next too. I'm sorry to put you last, James, but you're the co-host. That's the responsibility you've got. But Melina.
Hi everyone. I'm Melina Schweitzer. I'm with AWS. I actually work in the AWS GameDay team. We actually create the infrastructure upon which game days run, which we'll be playing on for this quest that's upcoming now. It's great to be here. I want to see if AM can break the LaunchDarkly quest as well, and we'll see.
Melina, you're our second quest developer we've had on. We had Jim on last episode too, so it's always fun to have quest developers on. And I guess Cody, you're a quest developer too. I
like to think so. I'm gonna update the LinkedIn title to include that DevRel and Game Day quest developer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's from the first batch of partners that that actually build their own quests. So
very cool. So James, who are you?
Hello again. I'm James Spencer. I'm a partner solutions architect and one of the co-hosts on Step Up Your Game Day with Mr. AM. LaunchDarkly is great. I love them. Nothing but good things to say. I've played this quest at reInvent. It was great. They gave out little camera covers at reInvent, the ones you put on your laptop. And it's great too. I love them. The only problem is they're too thick, so they don't shut your laptop completely. That's my only complaint. Cody, please take that back as an action item. And I thank
solid feedback. It's solid. We're constantly evaluating customer need and looking to see how we can grow. But
thank you. Much appreciated.
Right here.
Oh yeah. There you go. I love it. I've got it on right now.
Use any of the ones that anyone gave me. So
look, camera covers are not our core audience. Okay, they're not our core product. So
this is why we keep James as last. We really need that product feedback to be raised. I'm AM. I'm one of the co-hosts too. I'm the developer advocate for AWS Game Day. Work on the same team as Melina. Today we're going to be playing a game day. We're specifically going to be playing the LaunchDarkly quest. Does it have a name? Is it a named quest?
The LaunchDarkly Flags quest.
The LaunchDarkly Flags quest. If you are just joining us for the very first time ever on Step Up Your Game Day, this is a show where we ask you to help me figure out the challenges in these quests because they're tough. And I'm frankly not the brightest person in the world. So you, as the audience, can help me solve these quests, and you get to participate right alongside me and sometimes James. James, I guess you'll be playing a little bit today, won't you? But you've already played this quest.
I have.
I think James should be on his own.
I mean, it's. Does one ever really completely memorize a game day? No. My answer is no. So I'll be like, oh, I remember this kind of thing. And besides, it'll get me more familiar with the product again. I love, like I said, it's no lip service. I like the feature flags are awesome. They're so cool. Makes the thing so easy.
More of that. Keep doing that.
No, it's true. No. What is it? No cap. What do the kids say nowadays? No cap. It's legit.
On that note, we are going to just take a quick look at Game Day and talk about Game Day a bit before we get into what LaunchDarkly is too. We're going to see a lot of what LaunchDarkly is throughout the quest, I assume, right, Cody?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're gonna do a lot of interesting stuff.
Okay, cool. But I was kick this over to you, James, because you're so good at it. Do you want to talk about what game day is and why people at home watching should care about it?
Yeah, sure. So game day is basically you're thrust into the role of a startup as, and here we call it unicorn rentals, AM's favorite topic. It's actually kind of mimics real life in a way. Many people probably have been put into a situation where you first join a company and there's no documentation, there's no hints, like, and you just say, hey, here's your task, go do it. And you're like, okay, so you just got to pull up your bootstraps, all of those good cliches, get in there, fix the things using, whatever kind of remnants of documentation and hints are left behind. So in this case, I believe we are going to be modifying some app runner code using feature flags, turning them on and off, and making sure that we can develop at the same time without having to worry about too much about source control and all those complicated kind of things. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I could be way off. I don't think so, but
So one thing I'll add to that is that so game day is a little bit different than our other means of having customers learn and experience like AWS services and so on, because it's sort of like a little bit more like a game. It's not a workshop. So it doesn't tell you step one, copy this into that field, press this button. Then step two, copy this into the other field and press this button and so on. This is more sort of like we set up a base infrastructure, and then you are sort of really taking on that role of an engineer that just started and really having to figure your way out. There's hint mechanisms and whatnot in case you get stuck, but it sort of doesn't have that prescriptive element that makes it more workshopy. So we kind of like to think that actually sinks a little bit better and easier into your brain when you actually really have to think about things instead of just blindly copying and pasting. So and also it's fun. So I do like the unicorn rental theme.
I do too. I think it's great.
I side with AM on this. I'm on team AM.
That's right. That's right. Look. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Absolutely. It's just so happens that Cody, in my opinion, is the right opinion. That's just how it is. But
I don't know, man. It was my opinion, and I still ended up writing the game day for it. So.
That's true. That's true. We got a very timely question. Can we also play game day on our own, or we have to play this here? This is actually a really, really interesting point that I was about to bring up. If you would like to experience a game day, typically you have to go in person or virtual and have to be part of some sort of event that's being put on. So we often put on these events at large scale AWS conferences or summits. We
sometimes
do these
loft as well.
At lofts. We do them at meetups. So if you have somewhere that you would like to play a game or play a game day, let us know. Hit us up. You can reach out to me. I've got my social handle up here. Reach out to me. Let me know that you want to put on a game day at your meetup, at your user group, whatever, and let's talk. But you can also experience game days at various events that exist out there, like summits, like Reinforce. We usually have a game day going on. Reinvent, actually, 2022 was where this game debuted. Am I right? I think.
Yep.
Yes. And typically game day is a team event. So meaning that you will be playing on a team, and it's a little bit, I'll call it lightly competitive, where the points, they matter. They do matter.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is the opposite of that improv show where the
Whose
points
line is
don't
it
matter
anywhere?
or whatever
Yeah.
they say?
The points are made up mostly, but they do matter. So it's kind of related, but kind of different too. So yes. I'm going to start the quest, but before I do, I wanted to point out that game day quests all come with some descriptors, right? That should help you. And first tip, like this is what James and I do throughout the show. We give you tips, Melina and Cody too, as game day veterans now. I'm really excited to hear your tips on game day as we play. You know, what should you do? What are the things that you can you do to maximize your success? My number one tip: read and read everything.
Yep.
Read.
Yes.
Read the steps.
Yeah.
Very closely too. So including this the screen right here that I've got pulled up, right? So it'll tell us a little bit about what we're going to do. James already told us we're going to be playing this quest, and it involves App Runner, right? But I can also see it's got Lambda in here and DynamoDB. This bodes well for me because those are two services I actually know. So I'm already not greeted with a bunch of services where I'm like, oh wait, EMR, cool. I don't really know that one. But that's also the fun of game day too. Don't let it intimidate you. Don't let it dissuade you from trying a quest if you do see some services, because it's a learning experience too. And we're also going to be working with feature flags thanks to our friends at LaunchDarkly. So shall I start the quest?
Go for it.
All right.
Make it so.
We got a 2 out of 5 difficulty too, which sometimes the difficulties don't necessarily align to my experience because I think sometimes the quest developers give people like me the benefit of the doubt that we're like competent, you know? And so sometimes they turn out to be harder than actually 2 out of 5. We'll see. I'm gonna let you know because I'm the only one who hasn't played this quest. Actually, I want to point that out too.
I think if you read it's a 2.
Well, I didn't come here to read. I came here
make
to
assumptions. It's like a 3 or a 4.
Like I said, I didn't come here to read. I came here to lead. So
Strong. Love it. Love to hear it.
Everybody, I also, while this loads up, we are watching chat. We're here with you. We're live. We want to hear from you as I progress or don't progress in this quest. I might ask you for help. If you've got questions throughout, please put them in chat. James and I are checking things out. We're watching, and we love to hear from you. All right, we're in progress. That's good. That's a good sign, right?
We didn't include a step to scroll down, but we are in progress.
Okay.
That was a misstep. That was a misstep. But
somehow I'm also in second place, and I thought I was the only one playing. So that's interesting. Let's go to the dashboard. We have a mystery team.
That I don't have back-end access, or I would make him 6th place right now.
I can do
with
that.
only one team.
Yeah, Melina can
only
do
5
that.
keys, and somehow he manages to be in.
We have a mystery team.
Hey, look.
Maybe it's a ghost tester.
Some people are on my side here. Okay, good luck, AM. Thank you. I'm not the villain here. All right. I just realized I don't think I can set my team name, so you might have to set a team name for me, Melina.
Oh, sure. What do you want to be called?
Ooh, James, what should we be called? Chat, what should we be called?
That's why, yeah, that's a little bit better.
What do you think, chat?
We're
gonna sit in silence and wait for you to answer on chat, by the way.
Contractually obligated.
I see a lot of haze.
That'd be the team name.
And hellos.
Contractually obligated. I do like that.
My favorite team name was at Reinforce. We had shirts that on the back said AWS GameDay Staff, and a team named themselves AWS GameDay Staff, and they got like 2nd place or something. And it was hilarious because a lot of the other teams were like, "They're playing, how dare they? They're blah blah blah," and we're like, "No, that's not us." I am James.
Somebody stealing your identity, James. I think that's the team name.
I think AM James is the team.
How about just
wow.
J with a capital AM and then MES?
Strong.
The awesome.
I mean, prestige worldwide from Michael in the chat. I mean, that that might be the best suggestion here. I've used two Step Brothers references today alone. I feel good about that.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, we got some representation for me, for AM. That's good. I appreciate and enjoy that as a name.
Ooh, AWS Gods. I like that one.
I always like this
Or
one.
GoDS.
It's like this.
That's a cool one.
This is my team name
I
suggestion.
am.
It was named after me. A lot of people don't realize that. I am was named after
What?
me.
AM.IAM? Like Will I Am?
That's right.
Am I am?
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you all figure out the team name, I'm going to actually start reading because I'm probably losing points. Actually, maybe I'm not. Maybe you all are.
There's no points. You don't lose points when you start this.
You all are merciful. You don't take off points immediately. Yeah. So
some quests do that, but not this one.
Some quests do. You'll start getting. Maybe we didn't explain that either. And as we play, we'll explain more things too. You can obviously score negative points. And it takes points away from you and makes you go from second place to sixth place very fast. In some quests, once you click that start button, immediately start either penalizing you or rewarding you. Some also reward points too. So be sure to, if you're playing at an event, go check out this score events tab, and that'll let you know what's going on. This is my tip number 2. If you're lost, check out the score events tab, because that's usually going to give you more information and tell you how you're either losing points or gaining points. All right, I'm gonna keep reading. You all keep those team names. We're getting lots of good team name recommendations from chat, by the way.
Let me know which one you like.
I'm James. This is you,
James.
This is your decision.
I'm going like the Prestige Worldwide. I'm in for it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Procedural lie?
Prestige Worldwide.
Oh. That was quite a telephone game there.
All right, so we need to deliver our next generation hooftastic marketing website. Wow. Does it have to be hooftastic? Is that a requirement? Is that actually like a product management gathered requirement that it is hooftastic?
Strongly mediocre was frowned upon. So
also, how do we
solidly average?
How do we measure? Do we have a metric measuring the hooftasticness of the marketing website?
That was.
Oh, you know when you see it.
Okay.
You understand.
I had to put Chuck's recommendation there. Another AM shout out. And Chuck, good to see you again. Love when you watch. Okay, so we're working on a marketing website. Wait, I'm the team responsible for deployment and migration. That's interesting. Okay. I don't remember signing the contract for this, but I'm happy to be here. Ship the features to Power Unicorn Rentals' new website. Debug problems. Okay. Throughout this challenge, you'll explore rolling out the new website, building feature flags, troubleshooting problems, and rolling out new capabilities. No broken horns. I get it. Like, okay.
Hey.
Hey.
How do I access the AWS console from the Quest UI? For all those people that don't know in chat, and definitely not me.
It's actually in the previous screen, which you can't see here. But yeah, there's a previous login screen, and that tells you, that has like a little button to your Teams AWS console. Do you want me to pass you the link, James?
Yeah, sure. I'll need it too, actually.
Oh, that might be helpful. Yes.
As I said,
forgot about that too.
As I said, definitely not me. This is for all the people out there in the world that are learning as well.
Yep.
Yes. So when you are playing a game at an event, a game day at an event, rather, you will access through what's called you'll get a hash, right? And you'll use this login page with that hash, and it'll bring you to a page that has a link to the page that we're looking at right now, and also a link to the console itself. So let's see. I think I get that from Melina. Oh, thank you, Melina.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you can do, the console if you're more familiar and comfortable with the CLI. Then, oh, does that not work?
I think it truncated the.
Well, it's a good run, everyone. Really enjoyed this today.
Hey, I got it. I had to copy it.
Why am I getting flashbacks from our first pilot episode? Andy? What's going on here?
Yeah, if you haven't watched that first episode, you can watch it on demand, and you can see James and I massively fail, which is all in the good spirit of game day. Failing is a part of game day, actually, a big part of game day. So I also I've got a LaunchDarkly. I'm assuming that's what LD stands for.
Yep.
Yes.
Not Larry David, right?
Not Larry David. Incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect.
All right. I kind of was hoping it was for Larry David, but I'll take LaunchDarkly as a very close second place to Larry David.
Well, hopefully by the end of this, it'll take first place for you.
There you go. There you go.
Boom.
Let me go back to that Ghost team and
coming in strong.
All right. So, James.
Yeah.
What do we got to do? We got to deploy the new unicorn rentals. We learned about that in the first paragraph. It's day one. All right. Okay. It's always day one already. I can tell you that, right? Always day one.
Oh, isn't that's like a principle thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like a
principle thing.
I have to contractually. I have to say that. Contractually obligated to say that. Your first build pipeline is running currently. Oh no. Okay, it's already running. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's probably good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's giving us an app runner configuration. Hey, James, what's app runner?
App runner is a easy way to deploy your applications, typically through containers. It's awesome. Nice. You just point to an image from a registry. It'll spin it up. It'll give you a URL to get to all that stuff. It's an awesome service. It takes all that heavy lifting out. As long as you have your container, you're good to go.
Nice. Samuel saying hello from the Netherlands. Good to see you, Samuel.
Holy cats.
Thanks for joining. Okay, so app runner, that's where we're deploying to.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I actually need to create a new app runner application and then maybe give that configuration information to my pipeline, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Gotta
read.
You tell me. It's your first day. It's your first day. You tell me.
It's a lot of reading.
What is it called? Walking the talk? Talking the walk? No, walking the talk, right?
Oh, look at that. There we go. Now we're talking. Prestige Worldwide #1.
All right.
Absolutely agree with that.
Boats.
Well, we're not looking at the points, Melina. We're looking at the rank.
We could actually award points for reading. Somehow track eye movement.
to
train people to actually read, because I probably get negative points because I just skim.
To give
I
Cody
took an exam like that.
Did you really?
Yeah, where the proctor or whatever, the camera tracks your facial, your face.
Oh yeah,
track
yeah.
your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and if your eyes are like off to the side too long, it'll start getting flagged, and the proctor will jump in and be like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, all right. You're right. Reading is very important. Okay. And also getting the context sometimes helps too. So I went and opened Code Pipeline because it told me here that my build pipeline is already running. Now I know what build pipeline is, right? Based off of my knowledge of AWS. But if you have not used, Code Pipeline before, and you see that word build pipeline, this is another tip, another game day tip for you. Look for keywords as you're reading that you can go in and try and match to AWS services, or maybe drop into a search engine somewhere, and then that will tell you. So if you weren't sure, you could go drop in, AWS pipeline and maybe get a good, path forward utilizing a search engine, or if you just come in here to the AWS console and start typing pipeline, it'll pull up data pipeline and code pipeline. And just reading the description here, release software. Okay, that sounds like what we're looking for, right? So I came in here. It looks like it, number one, love the descriptive naming of the stage processes. Thank you, Melina and Cody, for that.
Oh, that was all Cody.
Oh, well, thank you, Cody. It tells me that it built a Docker container, and James already told me, right?
I've told you many
App
things.
Runner is for running containers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a built container here. Seems like I'm probably going to use that container in my App Runner service. Yeah. So let's go look at the details. Maybe this is telling me where it got put, or maybe that's actually in the instructions too. Yeah. Browse for the Unicorn Rentals app. Okay, cool. And the image list. Let's just, it says browse image. There's only one. That's good. Latest.
See, even you can do this, Am.
Wow. Shade. That's shade for my own teammate. Whew, my own teammate.
If like during a real game day, like there's other quests, and if they actually also build things to ECR, images to ECR, then there might be more than one thing there. Sorry. All right, let me turn this off.
No worries.
Nobody ever calls me except when I'm in meetings. So
When you're on the show, that's fine. You can actually take the call if you want live. we can talk to whoever is calling you. Let's see. Okay, so it told me to create a new service role. All right. I'm gonna need to load up some environment variables. That's good. Service name. Oh, this is the hardest thing. What do you want to name it, James?
My Hooftastic website.
My Hooftastic website.
Allegedly,
anytime I can get a
allegedly
reference.
Hooftastic.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
we have not scientifically calibrated that with any sort of metric yet.
Whenever I can get you to buy into the unicorn thing, it's going to happen.
What?
Chirp, chirp, chirp,
Will
chirp.
it? Are you sure about that? All right. My server key. Does it say any others? Just server key. Set the port to 5,000. James, that's how much I love you.
I love you 5,000.
It's like, is it half of the Iron Man one? Wasn't it 10,000? I can't remember.
Well, I can't afford that if it's 10.
There's a price on my love. There I am.
There is a ceiling. Sorry.
I'll love you up to 3,000. Any more than that, you're on your own.
There is a ceiling. Okay, I'm gonna have to copy this because I'm gonna have to drop it here in this game day input here. But I'm gonna click next.
Are you sure you're gonna click next? Are you sure?
I am so you'll learn this about me, Cody. My style of play in game day is the YOLO method.
I like it. You only YOLO once.
That's right. You only YOLO recursively. In an infinite loop.
Yeah, that's a shirt. That is a shirt waiting to happen.
YOLOing.
Has the quest started? Who's the wizard? Also, I don't see a D20. Somebody's on the wrong live stream. No, we should do a D&D themed quest at some point. That would be amazing, actually.
Ooh.
Like one of those old text-based adventures, where you're standing in a clearing. You have a story.
Dude, that's literally how when I was like 12 years old, learned how to type super fast. Is playing an old mud MMO called I won't call it, but yeah, it was like if you didn't type fast, you died. So I got real good at that.
All right, we're deploying, and this can take several minutes. So right now, anybody just joining us, right? So we're about 30 minutes in. We are Step Up Your Game Day. Welcome. Thank you for watching. It's going to be a great show today because we're playing the LaunchDarkly quest. We're going to learn all about feature flags. We're going to deploy some applications. We're getting a hoof-tastic marketing website set up.
Allegedly
hoof-tastic. It has been charged, but not yet gone to trial if it's hoof-tastic yet. So we are playing through the content here. If you've never played a game day, it's an interactive way to learn and actually get hands-on with AWS services and partner services like LaunchDarkly. We are so far deploying out a containerized application that is running our website to App Runner. And as it deploys, I wanted to go start looking at LaunchDarkly because I went and logged in. So we've got feature flags, content, text, segments, experiments, live events, audit. We got quite a bit of things in here.
We got features, y'all. We got things. We do stuff.
There's a lot of things and stuff. I like things and stuff, Cody. But
winning.
From my experience with LaunchDarkly, which is granted much older. I did an episode actually of Howdy Partner back in maybe 2019 or so with you all from LaunchDarkly. It's been a while. Speaking of, James today is pulling double duty, and he's got Howdy Partner after this also. So you should tune in on twitch.tv/AWS after this show to go watch James. And Cody, sometime I'm going to put you on the spot here. You got to come back on Howdy Partner, but I'll let you and James figure that out. Cody, feature flags.
Depends on how this workshop goes, huh? Depends on how the game day goes.
Wow. I thought I had already won enough favor with you to just immediately get you to say yes. But okay, no, I'm still earning.
I've won favor with you, but I thought that one was James's show. I don't know if James likes me yet.
Of course I do. I like you until I don't. I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah. So Cody, feature flags, I think, are like the bread and butter of LaunchDarkly. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say so. I think in a rare moment of trying to be serious, I think what we focus on is like making software releases safer overall. I think feature flags are a part of that. I think like there's an experimentation tab in there that's a part of that too. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I think a lot of it is based around this idea of like, hey, we can wrap the things you're building in a feature flag and give you a lot of control over it. So yeah, it's like feature flag is like the core component, but really it's about making things safer and move faster.
And that just to unravel that a bit for anybody who's unfamiliar with feature flags, I love how you put that makes your deployments more safe. But how does it do it, right? Like what actually about the feature flag allows you to push out a deployment with less of the anxiety that you may have without using feature flags?
So think about like, when I was in the wee days before joining the vendor world, when I would deploy software and we'd go and we'd roll out a new application, we would deploy it. And when it came up and finished deploying, that app was released, right? Everybody has it. And there's like a lot of risk associated with that, because if you've released this thing to everyone and it's everyone at once, if you go from version 2 to version 3, everyone now is consuming that version 3. If it's broke, if one feature in there is broke, say you release 10 new things and one of those is broken and it's like really broken, you're rolling back the entire application. And now all those other 9 things that were fine get tabled to fix that one thing. We're used to that as like the normal deployment path. And sometimes you get crazy and you're like, stand up a load balancer and send traffic to the new one a little bit. And if it's not working, you'll flip it back over. But there's a lot of stuff you have to do to make that work, right?
Yeah.
So a feature flag lets you wrap the things you've built in code and say, if this feature flag is true, or if condition, run this code. Most commonly, people start with like a true or false flag, like what you have right here, flag variations, down there says Boolean, right? A true or false flag. If it's true, run the new login component. If it's false, run whatever was there before, or run some sort of other version of this. This gives you the ability to have that control. And that's one small part of it, right? Because what happens when you move beyond that, when you want to start saying only people in a specific region get this new feature? So building it that way starts to open up this whole door of what we talk about, breaking apart, deploy from release, right? Deployment is a thing. We know this. We have, and that space is very good now. There's a lot of stuff to deploy out software with. Release is something we still work through, still goes wrong, still has problems, bombs still go off, and it's bad.
Yes.
This gives you a lot of control over that. Using the other example I said with 10 features, in a feature flag world, if you have 10 features and one's broken, you just turn off that one feature. Now, the teams who built those other 9 still get to be happy that their feature's released, while that one is going back for additional work.
Chuck's coming in here and helping you out with the actual name of the product too, LaunchDarkly. Why it's actually called LaunchDarkly too.
I didn't realize that was what it meant.
Yeah, so a dark launch
Right.
is being able to launch for in a way that's like transparent to your end users or transparent to everybody. There's not we're going to be down for an hour tonight while we release the new version. It's being able to launch it without anyone knowing or without it being an event. Like, we talk a lot about the idea of being able to make IT releases a non-event, right? Like, it shouldn't be a big deal. You should be able to push code on a Friday and not be like terrified of something going wrong, because you can just turn it off if something is problematic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Melina.
No, it reminds me. I used to work in a university, and we had like half of what we did was supporting. We enhance and maintain stuff, and also support it. So we were on call and whatnot, and we had to the software was used by the entire university for doing basically the people management of anyone that had any kind of association with the university. So we couldn't, deploy in the middle of the day, especially not big releases. So I think this would be also really useful for also separating the turning these features on from the developers, and and basically lifting that responsibility onto an ops team or a support team.
And so that's a great point, because that's the next step of this, right? Is what happens when you want to give your product managers the ability to control who gets that feature, right? What happens when you want your operations team to be able to, at 2:00 in the morning, when the database migration happens and there's a problem, be able to just turn it off, right? Software development's different now than it used to be, where a lot of times developers would just handle all of this end to end. Now you have so many other people that are a part of this process. It's a really cool way to look at it. It's a really cool way to look at it.
Yeah, it really lifts off of quite a lot of pressure off of developers, because
40,000. There's no way that AM deserves 40,000 points.
You're right. I deserve so much more than that.
For what? What did he do?
Right.
This quest is a reinvent partner quest, so it will go up to 250,000 ish.
Well, let's not tell.
We're generous with the points here.
Let's not tell what the ceiling of the points is, so that when you say 40,000, it looks super impressive. Actually, you can only score 10,000 points on this question. Somehow, I've already scored 40,000.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what Melina meant to say.
I played a game day the other day, where I was watching people play a game day, and they were getting 100 points, 200 points, and I was like, oh,
how cute.
It's wow, we.
Yeah,
beyond that.
I delivered a game day 2 weeks ago, and I think the maximum points for the entire, it was an older one, so the maximum points for the entire event was 11,000, and I was like, is that right? I'm used to the newer ones where it's you get 5 million.
I believe that I got the 40,000 points for exactly what Andrew here is calling out, that I found in the LaunchDarkly UI, is that I could switch to a dark theme. That's what awarded me those 40,000 points, I'm going to think.
Fun fact, this is a new feature. This was not in place when we ran this at reInvent. So dark mode, making plays, making moves, y'all. 40,000.
The description erroneously says app runner URL. It meant to say dark theme turned on, I think. But we'll ignore that for now. Okay, cool. So our application actually deployed. My Hooftastic website. Prestige Worldwide, just First place, winning. Now, I was reading through this while you all were talking, and I swear I was listening to all of you at the same time, too. Promise. We have to make a new API key in LaunchDarkly, and luckily LaunchDarkly has some documentation on how to do that, so that's nice. In the custom role option with your student box checked. I don't need to change any other settings. It's good to know. And then drop that API key in there. Okay, cool. Great. So like I said, I kind of come from the YOLO school, so I'm probably just going to jump around here a bit. So account settings is what that doc said. So now I need to, okay, go back to the, okay, choose service token. Oh,
up higher, up higher. Down now, down now.
down.
Account setting page on the authorization tab.
Dude, creating API access tokens is a heading. The only one in the entire page.
Here we go. Oh yeah, no, I was reading.
Right under it.
Sorry, I'm reading. I'm not stuck. I was just reading. Create token. Here we go.
You know, the way I started reading now, it's really bad. I will pull up like an article or something, and instead of reading, left, right, down, and so on, I'll literally skim down the center of the paragraph, and whatever fits in my field vision gets read, and whatever doesn't, then I'll extrapolate. So I am terrible. I just lost the art of reading and really understanding what the heck I'm reading.
For those of you who just joined us, all of the videos will become on demand right after the stream ends. So you can go back and watch from the beginning afterwards on whatever platform you're watching. So you'll be able to find those videos. I changed it to custom, and I need to check that box. It doesn't say anything about a service token, but I am curious about the service token, what that means. Maybe I'll ask you, Cody, since it doesn't seem to affect the quest.
Yeah, if you were doing like a short-term thing, right? If you needed a very like short-term integration, you would just you do exactly what you did, and you pull it. Ones that are marked as service are usually for something that are longer. Like maybe if you were integrating into like a CI/CD pipeline, as an example, or if you were doing like a APM integration of some sort, like you might use those long ones because they're more designed for long-term tokens that are like more for a service that's being used. Like if you're doing a good example would be like if you're using the VS Code integration to write code and use LaunchDarkly, you just pull a regular API token and use that. The service ones are for like a system that's consuming LaunchDarkly.
You said my wake word, VS Code.
I know, right? It's just brings so much joy.
I love VS Code. That's awesome that you all have a VS
Copilot
Code.
though, man. Ooh. Copilot in there, man.
Yeah. Releasing the new unicorn rentals. All right. So, wow, James, you gotta be contrarian, don't you, James?
I was waiting for the Vim. Where's the Vim call outs?
Yeah. Come on.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
That's my alignment.
Chaotic neutral. At least not chaotic evil, I guess. Before
Depends
you
on how
start
you look at
this task. Okay. I did, but let me go. We didn't open the URL, actually. Maybe there's a wonderful marketing site that we can go. Hooftastic? Oh, it's coming soon. It's not very hooftastic, actually.
Not yet.
It's not released yet, AM.
It's not. Yeah. It's not hooftastic.
We are launching
AM.
Look,
money.
I am just like
not running yet.
I'm drowning in points over here, so I don't need to listen to any of you all.
Has anyone advised AM on the exchange rate for those points yet?
I thought it was cash. Is it not cash? It's not USD. Are you all gonna pay me in crypto at the end of this? Is that right? Maybe some
Feelings.
Bitcoin.
We'll be paying you in feelings.
That like closed shop and went to zero.
Do we have? Are these game day coins? Is that what this is? Game day coins, and then you have to go watch the market for what the game day coin is trading at, and it's like less. It's some infinitesimal, like less than a fraction of a penny.
That's actually not a bad idea. Like
I know, I have them sometimes, every once in a while.
Open shop, like like in the in the arcades where you like get tickets or whatever, and then you can cash them out for like, I don't know,
You could
lollipop.
trade it in. You could trade it in.
Points for tickets for one lollipop. That's actually not a bad idea. That would be super exciting to have that actually like at reInvent and stuff.
Yeah, what do you all think in chat? What would the prizes be with point exchange rates? What do you think? Like, what would the stuffed bear cost? You know? Okay, I checked. We just received a notification for the web development team. The new version's out. Candy, by the way. That's trade those points for candy. I like that. Okay, we included a feature flag in the new code. You like how I read the developers and I just automatically included myself in that group? that was like a little subliminal thing. Okay, toggles the visibility. Now you have to create a corresponding flag in LaunchDarkly. Oh, I was looking at this in the create flag, Cody. This was actually going to be another question I asked you, but I was waiting until we got to this. We actually update the application code when working with feature flags in LaunchDarkly. I think some people, maybe if they're hearing about feature flags for the first time and they've heard about something like A/B testing, can get a little confused because something like A/B testing, right, that has an entirely separate, application running. Whereas
does it though?
Sometimes, I guess that's true. It doesn't have to, does it? You're right.
I mean, so think about the difficulty that comes along with that, right? Think about the friction of if you wanted to A/B test 2 versions of an application. Okay, I have to run version 2 somewhere. I have to stand up something for it to run on. I have to provide connectivity to it. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that comes along with that. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just do it all
in the same
within
code base,
the same application and in the same code base? Wouldn't that be a great thing?
If only there was a way.
If only there was a way.
It'd be nice.
Wow, we're getting taken down for copyright strike there, James.
Dude, it wouldn't.
I'm joking.
Not with my awful voice. They'd probably do the opposite and give us money. So get that boy some lessons.
So we've got to create a feature flag in LaunchDarkly now. We're going to check the application code. Oh, here we go. A little shout out here too. Maybe go ahead and maybe give this gentleman here a follow on GitHub, if you will.
It's good. It seems like he has kind eyes.
Yeah, he does. He looks friendly. Looks approachable.
Welcoming. I like
Very
it.
Steve Jobsy.
Oh, we getting the jobs.
Just see the turtleneck.
I was gonna say I didn't see a turtleneck. Okay, cool. So to scroll up, I missed where it was linked to in the exact. All right, so we're looking dev notes, our feature flag for the big release below. I'm just creating LaunchDarkly. So we're looking at some HTML here.
My favorite language to program in.
Okay.
So if you look at line 65, because we don't necessarily cover this deep in the guide.
Site release.
That is what we're looking at here is a ternary operator. What we're doing is saying if this value, the first one, is true,
this
run this code. Otherwise, else, do nada.
Okay. There is no otherwise there. I see. Interesting.
That's it.
I love it. Okay. I've checked out the code. I need to use this information to create a corresponding feature flag. So I'm guessing that I'm going to create a flag called site release.
Scroll up a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Flag key name.
Right there.
Site release. So a very
I'll never
helpful...
let you fail, AM. I will not. We joked. I will never let you fail. I will guide you through the mountains to the feature flag, and we will make it.
I'm ready for the trust fall, Cody. Will you catch me?
I'm right here. Big guy.
Wow. Somehow you caught me.
It's,
we're not even physically in the same space, and you caught me.
Safer releases, safer falls.
Wow.
The magic of the internet.
More trust falls, safer releases.
Wow.
Hashtag marketing.
Is LaunchDarkly the trust fall of
oh man
release?
Why didn't someone say that in chat so we could broadcast that across the bottom? Is LaunchDarkly the trust fall of safe releases? Yeah.
I'll make a banner actually. I'll make a banner. I'll flash it across the bottom here when we're the next time we're waiting for something to happen. Okay, so back to my code here. I need a Boolean. So that's why it's that ternary operator, because ternary operators operate on Boolean values. All right, that makes sense to me. What doesn't is how many tabs I have open. Clearly. Oh, do I? Okay, it already picked the SDK for client side, which makes sense because I'm sure this is utilizing some JS.
Some React action. We're in a little React.
Got it.
Next.js. Shout out there.
Okay, we got Boolean already selected. I don't think I need to update anything else. It doesn't look like it. That's it. Let's just do it. Like I said, this is a permanent flag. Oh, interesting. What does that mean? If you intend to keep it in your code as a long-term control. Oh, so this kind of maybe I'll ask this with no prior knowledge and maybe what will turn into a stupid question. Does this at all relate to the experiments tab over here that I'm seeing in LaunchDarkly?
Ooh, that is actually a good question. Really
I did it.
Yeah, I think it could, right? But I think experiments tend to have like a defined time period around them, and you're trying to measure something. So I would say generally, probably not.
Okay.
But there are still times where you could, right? I think that if you wanted to gauge the effectiveness of a feature for long term, you absolutely could use it there. What that is more for is what we found is that in the early days, people created short-lived flags, right? You only create a new login page every once in a while. So do you need a new login feature flag all the time?
Right.
Probably not. So you would mark that as a non-permanent flag. It would help your teams know, okay, this is going to go away at some point. This flag is going to get removed at some point. Think about one that maybe controls what database is active. That's a permanent flag. You might have that in place forever, and you might update that often. So that one you'd check as permanent, and your ops teams would know this is a flag that impacts the capabilities of the tool.
Okay, that makes sense. Very cool. So I turned it on. Do I need to review and save?
You do, in fact, need to.
Yep.
Probably.
That's good. That's like you can't just accidentally toggle something. That's nice. I like that. Okay. And so then it says for me to go in and check /status on the endpoint. Oh, there we go. Look at that. App version. Okay. I assume I'll remove the quotes here. But update.
And if you go to the main site now, take off that status, you get to see the new web page.
What? No. Really?
It's, I mean, the hooftasticness is coming right now.
Is it? What percentage hooftastic?
I was gonna say we're halfway to hooftastic.
I think we're more than half. I think we're more than half. I do.
100% hooftastic.
Melina, you say 100%.
No, I think it's like a strong 68. Strong 68.
No. I'm hooftastic all the way.
Wow. Oh, okay. I mean, the middle icon there, I would say that gives you at least 90% hooftastic just by itself. That middle one.
And then the witty comments, awesome.
So go over and so real quick, just for funsies, go into LaunchDarkly, turn that off, and save it again.
Okay. We're gonna break it. So that'll, I'm guessing, get rid of my favorite new icon. It does. There you go. And we go.
So if there was a problem with the website, think about how you would do this in normal times. If there was a problem with the website, you'd have to roll back, right? You redeploy the old version, maybe you change a load balancer around, you're interacting across teams. Like there's a lot of friction to that, right? So when we talk about like reducing risk and things like that, this is what I'm talking about. What if you were able to ship something and if it was broken, fixing it is just one toggle and then it's gone. And the way it works, it's actually removing that code from execution. So it's not just like hiding it. It's like removing it from execution. So those errors are now just gone. Those problems are gone. Now this is like dramatic, right? Because it's like the entire site. But imagine if that was just the login page, right? The rest of the page still works. People can still browse, but just that one feature is off. So you can turn it back on now. Just wanted you to see that. Wanted you to have a little extra fun.
Oh, I love it. And it actually helps answer a question we got from chat. What are feature flags? Which we just saw, right? So it's a way of, at the code level, defining out, different various features that you're writing and including in a new release, for example, and being able to manage the state of if that feature is enabled or disabled through, not having to roll out deployments, not having to roll back deployments or anything like that. It's just essentially turning it off and on. And again, not to speak for you, Cody, I'll ask you instead. I imagine that turning feature flags on and off programmatically through something like a CI/CD release cycle is also possible through LaunchDarkly.
Yep. Also, if you want to integrate into like an APM tool, right, like something watching metrics, and you suddenly got 8 404 errors in a second, you could have it automatically shut that off, and that's pretty cool. Other thing is, because this is on App Runner, if James was to broadcast out that URL, everyone in our chat could bring up that website and watch it off to the side while you were making these changes, and they would see all these changes happen live as well.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cool. Let me, I'll drop it in chat. Here you go.
That's a pretty cool idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Beat you to it.
You sure did.
No, but that's I really like what you just said, Cody. Having it being able to automatically flip, like, if you could get a bunch of errors that you didn't foresee coming, and you'd have it automatically flip off and say, oh, this is broken. You don't have to get that call at 3 a.m. in the morning and do it yourself. That's
amazing.
If I'm throwing, if I'm getting 100, 502 errors a second, it's broken. That's not that's not somebody putting their password in wrong. If it's hitting that many times, it's broken, and the system should just shut it off and let me get to like fixing it. Right.
so good.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at. I'm looking at the the most important thing here, my score, and it is just astronomical. 40,000. I'm loving this quest. This
I love that you love it. This is
best quest I've ever played. Last time we were on, I played this quest with Richard Boyd as my teammate. If you don't know Richard, he's a character, but we were playing Jim's Secure Legends quest, and it just kept tricking me over and over. I mean, he did some dirty things in this quest. He would turn off our entire code pipeline and
like manually, or
set the status. No, it was like our website got hacked, and through the website code, he would turn off our code pipeline and set the status as abandoned, which is not a status in code pipeline. So Richard is actually a technical product manager in the Code Suite side. He works for Cloud9 specifically, but he works with all these Code Suite products. And he's like, this is not a status I've ever seen. He's like, I don't understand why it says abandoned. And it was because Jim's code was setting it to abandoned. Man, it was, we got through it, but loving this quest. So we're actually putting debug code into this. It says,
well, that seems problematic.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't put debug code in here.
Yeah, it's probably not a good thing.
It's not a great thing. Yeah.
So what can we do about it?
Oh, great question. What can we do about it? So the team added enhanced logging behind a feature flag. Okay. This can be quite handy for isolating problems. So we're actually making it limited to what users can use it too. Okay. This task will feature flag in LaunchDarkly and configure it so that only debug user sees the log messages. Oh, that's cool.
So this is, if get corny for a moment, can we play background cheesy music? The whole targeting ability is literally what sold me on LaunchDarkly, both when I was a customer of it and working here. The idea of being able to control, this is a very simple one of just targeting a user. What if, wow, there it is. This is strong. But thinking about if you wanted to say only US West users get the new RDS database, only US East users get the new one. Like that just opens up a whole new world of abilities, and it's just so beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like this a lot. This is actually really, really useful, because you don't want, especially with log messages, right? That could contain information that you don't want just any user being able to come in and check that. So
we have one customer who does this with Nginx. So they have like an Nginx reverse proxy that they run, and they have flags inside of that, and they have their default log level at a thing. And when somebody calls in, help desk has a problem, and IT support, whatever, they go in LaunchDarkly, they find that user, they change the targeting rule for that logging to be verbose, and now they're only generating verbose logs for that specific user. They're not having to parse through a ton of other people's entries. It's a slick use case.
Oh my God. Just thinking about like going into like an app log and looking and trying to weed out which one of the million log statements like was this one user. That was such a nightmare. Knowing that you can just do this, like just for this one user, that saves so much time. Oh my God.
We talk about this as it sounds like dramatic, but we talk about it in the light of like reducing your blast radius or controlling your blast radius. Like turning a feature on for everybody is scary, but like, why do we test? Because we want to make sure nothing breaks in production. What if we don't? Like, what if we're able to isolate that down to such a small group that it doesn't matter, right? Like we only release to our dev team. We only release to the people in the office at this address. It's only Pacific time zone. It's only Cody, right? Like when we can control that, all of a sudden the risk profile just dramatically changes, and we have a lot more flexibility.
it sounds a little bit like you are having a power trip, Coach.
A little bit.
Specifically, because you named
I
yourself.
decide what features live or die. I decide.
Yeah, that's I too. How does one seek this power, Cody, and how does one gain it?
We have a 14-day trial of this power.
There we go.
Nice.
All right, 14-day trial of this power.
But real talk for a second. I love hearing stuff like this because once you explain it and talk about it, it seems so simple, like such a simple idea, at the top level. And I think, why didn't I think of that kind of thing? But it's so cool that it's just like, it's so simple, but it's so powerful. Just, having something like that available. I'm not a shill. I believe in it. But they did not pay me to say this.
Even though the camera lens didn't fit, you still believe in it. The camera cover, you still believe in it.
No, I do.
Despite.
I still like the camera cover. I just wish it was a little bit thinner.
Well, it's just Macs. I mean, I when I used to have a PC, like I could use like these little lens cover thingies, but since the Mac is like flat, you can put anything. I mean, except maybe a piece of paper. So
I really love that we've got like a choose your own adventure style fork in the road here too. So I'm completely 100% listening to you all and also reading, absolutely hearing everything you've said, because I prioritize you all above winning points in this game. Of course, I just want you all to know how deeply I care for you each as individuals. But I was reading this, and it's kind of cool. You got like a client-side code or server-side code path that I can go check out how the flags are working. It's like a choose-your-own adventure. Chat number one. Well, first off, I'm being called a liar.
That's Jim.
That's fine. That's fine, Jim. That's fine. You're not wrong, Jim. Chat, which one would you pick? Which do you want to see? Client side code or server side code? And then I turn it to you all. I know Melina's answer. I think. Which one would you pick, Melina? What do you want to look at? Client side code or
Server side?
Server side. I did know your answer. Yeah. Look, Gunnar believes in me. Gunnar's here. AM is always caring about everyone. Gunnar knows. I deeply care about Gunnar too.
He cares about whoever gives him the points. Okay, let's not get this twisted at all. He cares about who has the points, who's shilling in points, or LaunchDarkly powers. One of those is how you motivate AI.
Who does control the points, and how do I get closer to them?
Pretty sure she's on the call, right?
Oh, okay, Melina. You know, do you need a drink or anything? Can I get you anything? Just kidding.
We'll have a talk later.
Okay. All right. Great. I'll DoorDash you some food or something. Bribe you for some points. Okay. So Melina says server side. James, what about you?
Server side.
Server side. And Cody, you wrote both code, right? Both client and server.
Well, you've already looked at some client side code, so I'm gonna go back end also because you already looked at. Well, I guess you've looked at both. I'll go back end.
Okay. All right. That was my leaning too. But all right. So log mode. Log mode is the flag name. It looks like. Sure, it's been created in LaunchDarkly. Multivariate string. Oh, interesting. So it's a new type. This means you can create multiple versions of this flag that return different results. This developer really, I kind of question this developer actually as an employee of Unicorn Rentals. This
Did he write good documentation? Is that
he
why?
seems to be writing too much documentation and not enough code. Code should be self-documenting. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
This was out before. This was out before ChatGPT. I'm sorry.
I love it. No, this is great. This is really helpful. Okay, so the flag type is a multivariate string. We can hide components behind a feature flag. Okay, and then we can target which users. I love it.
Bobby Tables.
Little Bobby Tables.
That was a great name from the game day.
Bobby Tables is in the house.
I love this. I need this as a tattoo. My code was hard to write. It better be hard to read. Yeah, agreed. If it's too easy to read, doesn't that mean it wasn't well written, right? So string, and then we've got variations, right? So let's go back. Variation 1 is on and debug. Variation 1 is on, right? Debug? No? Or is debug?
There you go.
Okay. And the name is optional anyway. All right. So I don't need to do that. I love having Cody's. I could hear as I'm doing the wrong thing in Cody's voice. Okay.
Sometimes when I'm talking
where
to my
it
wife,
has the on and the off, that's what it was referring to.
Oh, I see. Okay. I figured that out for me too, because I put it in the correct order that was outlined here too. Okay. I'm loving this quest. This quest does not make me feel as bad about myself. Unlike,
does it make you feel empowered? That's what we're going. Is it?
I do feel. I feel power coursing. I feel power coursing through me. James, how do you feel?
I'm happy that you feel powerful. It's nice when the little ones feel grown up.
Let me have this one.
That's what mentors are for.
Wow. Now I need a targeting. So I can do individual targets. That seems. Yes, that did get me, didn't it, Robert? Little Bobby. Individual targets. I'm guessing that's. So I create a targeting rule, which I luckily have the. Okay. Oh, it's under rules. Maybe you can use the targeting tab.
Targeting rule. Yep.
We don't. Just to be fair, we don't specify in the guide, but individual targets are great when you're doing just one person. Rules let you capture larger groups of people or get a little bit more like broad in those. You can still do individuals and rules too if you wanted to. It's kind of how you want to go. But individuals are usually good if you're doing one or two, and then using rules for broader things is the general guidance.
Nice. Okay.
Now, one thing that we recent changes, little bit of code backend things. It used to be that everything was considered a user in the application, and we would say a user is someone who's consuming or something that's consuming a feature flag. So if you had a refrigerator that was consuming feature flags, because everything has software in it now, that would still be a user because that refrigerator is the user. We recently rolled out a change called contexts, as you can see on the left sidebar.
Context kind, yeah.
Contexts are the context of your request, and we can create different types of contexts based on whatever logic you want. Really great example of this is we have a vendor that does like automation stuff, like home automation stuff, and they target based off of the device. It doesn't matter if someone's logged in or not. There's no like Cody associated with that device. It's like version 1 of device, version 2, version 3. And so they'll roll out new features to the newest model first because it's got better performance and all of that. So what I want everyone to leave here thinking is that a user is not always a user, right? A user is the thing consuming a feature flag, and that might not always be a person. That could be, I want all of my US West EC2 instances to consume a different configuration of some type, a different database than the rest of them in my fleet. I want anybody who has this tag to receive this thing, right? So
I love it. I also love the betrayal that's happening. top 10 anime betrayals happening live right now.
How did you see that?
I don't know. You didn't make a feature flag.
I was just about to say
targeting
that.
rule.
Yeah, I didn't target everyone but you.
You put it, yeah. Okay, so it said make sure the default rule serves up the default view and not the debug view, and that the user. So this should be right. Oh wait, I need to turn it on too. Review and save. I did something wrong.
we'll see. We'll
did
see.
something wrong. I did it wrong. Let's see if it fixed. Nope, it didn't. So
Did you log in?
Oh, I have to log in. Once enable login as debug user, or visit the team debug.
What do you want to do? You can do whatever you want, buddy.
Wow, you give so many options here, Cody.
It's like Burger King.
Have it your way.
Do the API one. Do the API one.
Okay. Checked LaunchDarkly. Have you checked the children?
Now, this could be a poorly documented thing. Do that drop down where it says name and change that to key for me.
Key. Okay.
So this, we'll accept this one as a poorly documented step that should have been a little bit more documented. Most people do the individual target instead, which I tried to mind meld with you and send your way, but you decided you knew better than everyone. And rolled forward. So
you give him some points, it all goes to his head, Cody. Like,
right, exactly.
Did you see?
All of a sudden.
Did you see how many points I have? Do you know how many points I have right now?
Okay, I didn't let you submit with that, sir.
I mean, do you expect the guy with 120,000 points to listen to the people with 0 points over here? Just kidding. It's a little Arrested Development. The guy in the $5,000 suit, you think? Anyway. Okay, so maybe that fixed it? It did.
Oh, snaps. Now go back to the front end too and log in there. Let's do both. We can do both. Websites don't control us anymore.
Wow. Also, we've got another, this is, I guess, number 2 on the top 10 anime betrayals of all time happening in real time. Jasmine, one of my co-hosts on AWS On Air that I thought has my back, responded to James's, should I start turning stuff off and messing with AM? Duh. Wow. Okay.
Hi, Jasmine.
How much could a game day cost, Michael? $10. I do love I love me some Lucille Bluth. Oh wait, no, that's so debug user. Let's get a game day.
Oh, snaps.
Wow. Check database connection. Oh, I'm connected, but it's unhealthy. I am connected, but it is.
You are alive,
unhealthy.
but you're eating McDonald's.
It's unhealthy relationship that
That's
I
a
have
great
with the
way to
database.
put it.
I can talk to the database, but we're abusive to one another. That's what's happening.
I went to get something from Pizza Hut. I think it's the only Pizza Hut where I live, which is like in Spain. And they closed down, and I was like, the American in me died that day. I was like, what?
We're losing.
No.
Nice. That's your only link to the U.S.
No, we
is
have McDonald's, Burger King. We have Popeyes.
I was hoping that the story was going to say that the
They're
Pizza
actually
Hut.
really good quality because it's like I don't know, their marketing is a little bit different here. For the
I
fast
was
food.
hoping, Melina, your story was going to end with the Pizza Hut turning into a combination Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, which
Oh, we have Taco Bell too, and you know what? My kids discovered Taco Bell in during our Miami vacation last year, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to go there, but they insisted, so we went. And we had Taco Bell here, and it's like in the picture. It comes out beautifully made. It was delicious. Really good quality taco. So yeah, we were. I was very pleasantly surprised.
I
It
think
looked
that
like restaurant quality, like really.
I
Really
think that this error is not your fault.
is it the individual target thing?
I'm pretty sure the way we wrote the validation is we did it off of the user.
It's my fault.
Oh, individual target.
I did it. I'm going to add it again. It's my fault. I did this. I'm the problem. As my friend, close friend, Taylor Swift would say, it's me. I'm the problem.
why's it always got to be about you?
Oh,
Check this out real quick. Let's because this is a new feature and I want to show you. Click on that context on the left.
Yeah, let's look at the context.
So these are all people who have connected at some point. Go ahead and sort by on the top right there. Change that. Just click it once so we can do the. We want to sort by. I'm sorry, below one.
Well,
below there.
Sorry.
So we can do like the most recent ones. So go ahead and click on that right
Debug
there.
user or
Yeah.
the top one.
Either one's fine. So these are the contexts I told you about. These are all things that can be targeted off of. We know that AM is using, or whoever was on this user that came in, because I don't know if this was AM or not, is coming in on a Windows system. They're in a browser device. They're not using a mobile phone.
That was not me. I'm not on a Windows.
Somebody is using this who is not on a Mac device, is using a Windows device. They're on a browser. So think about how this plays out. If I was rolling out a new version of the site that's optimized for iPhone use, I could target an iOS device with a feature flag and roll that out to them. So this, and then on the right-hand side, you can see we could impact this specific user, the feature flags they're getting individually aside from any other targeting. So we can override here and say, I want to control your specific experience. I want to see if the database that I roll out actually works better for you. I want to see so on and so forth. So this is all, and if you scroll down a little bit to instances, we don't have any here because this app was written with just one context. But if you had multiple, like it was user, device, all of these different ones, you would be able to see those down here and browse into those and see broader things. So like the demo app I usually run, I have a user context that has a bunch of user information. I have a device one that captures device information. And then I have a location that does, time zone and stuff like that.
Wow. So since they're using Windows, I'm going to assume it's Steve Roberts, who's the co-host of another show I do called Code Corner. Actually, he's moved off Windows, so it's not him. Anyway, but we caught you.
A good opportunity to make a joke. I feel like that was a solid joke.
We caught you, Windows user. We caught you. We caught you peeping. Caught you peeping at the website. Anyway, you know what? Now we haven't done this, and I usually try to do this at least once, about every half hour, and it's been quite a while. If you're just joining us, you've stumbled upon Step Up Your Game Day, and we're very glad that you're here because this show is all about playing game day live with you all in the audience. So we've been having people help. I haven't actually needed a ton of help so far in this quest, which is either a testament to me or to the quest builders or both. But if you've never played a game day before, it is an interactive, hands-on experience getting you working with real AWS services and partner service like we're working with today with LaunchDarkly. We have been deploying out like fiends. I mean, we've just been like throwing out features left and right with no fear. And Cody, I just want to let you know, almost everything I do in life is just
Riddled with fear.
riddled with anxiety and fear, because that is the human creature that I inhabit, is one filled with anxiety for doing things like answering the telephone. Okay. Something as simple as my doorbell rings and it fills me with dread. So to tell you that I have no fear to launch this feature, that's high praise. I just want you
Returning once again full circle to LaunchDarkly is the trust fall of software releases.
Peter here is giving you the credit, Cody.
Peter is responsible for every unicorn image in that app.
Yeah, he's the reason for the hooktasticness.
He is also contractually obligated to say positive things about me because he works for me.
There's that power. There's that power again, Cody. LaunchDarkly is so cool. Bobby Tables got you back too. You should have seen their booth at reInvent. Pretty
Trust
impressive.
fall as a service, Bobby Tables. We are pioneering a new market right now. Trust fall as a service.
I'll let you have it for free too. I'm not even going to charge you for that. I love it. Okay, so that should have fixed the issue. I'm going to update again and see if that gets me some sweet points. By the way, if you're, like I said, just joining us and you've never played a game day, we measure the success of a game day by how many points you can score, right? There we go. Success. I found it. So that should be what, another cool 40K?
Minus like the 80K you probably lost on failing.
Wait, I've lost points? Ah! Wow.
Man, I really thought you were going to get a perfect score, and like, you're just not perfect now.
You know what? I don't want to be perfect. The imperfections are what make me perfect, Cody.
Are you the ripped jeans of the AWS game day?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the punk rock spirit that dwells inside me from my youth is this. That 2,000 points is like me spitting in the face of authority.
I was thinking this is like more like a Dashboard Confessionals vibe.
Oh no, that would mean I felt emotions, which I've suppressed for very long. Anyway, all right. So now we've got everything debugged. I'm going to clear the user, and if I okay, cool. Is this correct? We good?
So far, so good.
Task 4.
Favorite part. This is the favorite part for me.
Oh, a highlight. Okay. From our last task, we learned that we are using local debug data. James, you haven't done a single task. Do you want to do a task?
Sure, I can.
Do you want to take over?
Yeah, let's. What are we doing? Task 4 from our last task.
Can I add your screen to the stream?
Is it safe? Yeah.
Looks why I asked.
Sure. Yeah, from our last task, we learned that we are using local debug data. Well, that usually doesn't help too much. Instead of the database in AWS, fortunately, we can use a feature flag to roll out the database change in the Unicorn Rentals environment. All right, what must we do? Read. Pro tips. Check the application code. Retrieve the flag information. Let's do that. Aha. JSON-based feature flow. We're a little small here. There we go. JSON-based flags allow us to push configuration blocks to parse and use within our code. Flag name, DB, type, JSON, and our variations. All right, cool. Create the flag in Darkly to enable the database change. Create a flag. It's not quiet. What's going on? I'm a little worried now.
Sorry, I was making a very important banner. Incredibly important banner. This gave me a chance to do this. So
Name. DBE details. Okay. Key. Is that the same thing? Yes.
Yes, I think it automatically populates the key in the name when you do that.
Yeah.
Totally remove the banner in the middle of me capturing a screenshot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Here you go. Here you go. Sorry.
Okay. What do we got? Variation 1 on flag type is a JSON. Okay. Now, okay, is it JSON or JSON?
I mean,
Who says which?
I go JSON.
You leave my son Jason out of this.
I say Jason.
I'm just kidding. I don't have a son, but if I did, it would be named Jason Voorhees.
Oh God, there's a lot to work. There's a lot to work through on this.
Oh, geez. All right, so we got variation 1 of on. Oops. With these things.
All right, so we're fixing that unhealthy relationship we have with the database, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We are trying to get, what did it say? We're losing local debug data instead of the database. So yeah, we're trying to hook up to our database in AWS with this flag. Cool.
What is going on?
And I just want to say that this is actually like a real. We're actually really moving from like local data to an actual database configuration, which
Nice.
I think is a lot of like. There are times where demos. I'm not saying I do this. There are times where demos are fake. This is not a fake demo. This is real, and it actually does move to a different database.
That's really cool. We got a what is going on? We're playing through the content from reInvent 2022 for the game day that was built by LaunchDarkly and AWS jointly, and we are at the stage where we are trying to change the feature flag to stop using local data and connect to a real database. Assuming it is DynamoDB, from what I could tell from the comments here. But I guess we'll see. Or maybe we won't. I don't know. I'm going to go look.
Right. I'm pushing the button.
Pushing the button? Oh, you're
Yes.
saving. Yeah.
Environment test. Is that correct?
Yep. You're good.
Let's do it.
Explore.
All right.
Oh, game day.
We have
DB.
enabled. Let's navigate to health. Okay, it's on.
Oh, but look, even without the health, look at the things that have changed.
Oh, no longer local.
Hey.
So now go
Looks
back.
like we're healthy.
Log in as debug user and go click that beautiful details button on the bottom.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hey, look at that.
We went to therapy. We worked through our issues and we connected, and now the database works.
We went vegan instead of going to eat pizza.
Another good banner one is LaunchDarkly as therapy for damaged migrations.
Oh wow, I love it.
Oops. So now let's get our points. What do we need to put in? What is the location value in the app runner's health point API?
What is it?
We're in the cloud. That's a good place to be. I tend to like the cloud.
We're in the cloud.
Just,
Oh wow, the most secret debug view. Wait,
Wait, what?
is that it? Did we do it?
I think so. It's not giving me an option to put anything else in, so.
we're just waiting for it
Quest
to.
completed.
Oh, wait. It was just painting something on the screen.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
We've launched Darkly. Full
We are
circle.
in the biz.
We said the name in the movie, right? We said the name of the movie in the movie.
I like it. I like it.
Automagic Unicornation, mythically reliable and unicorn with confidence. Who wrote these? Are you a PR copywriter in your spare time? This is pretty good.
I like to think so. I like to think so.
I definitely see a bright future with you in the company.
Oh yeah, James is usually the CEO but you're not the CEO today, are you, James, of Unicorn Rentals?
Was this Undercover Boss? Did we just go through Undercover Boss?
Yeah. Yes. You all passed. You can, yeah. No, well, I don't know. Lately, I've been the VP of sauce control. So
strong.
This is so cool.
Strong.
Hey, this is one of my new favorite comments of all time. How much? There's always money. There's always money.
Wait a second. AM.
Banana stand. Always money in the banana stand.
What was the maximum score we're supposed to get?
I think it was only like 10,000.
No, I thought it was
max, and we somehow obliterated.
I'm not even joking. Real talk. We're 250, right? Mm-hmm. We are so good. We ended up breaking the game. It looks like.
Wait, why do you guys think it's 10,000? Was it written somewhere?
No, we said it was 250 before, right? 250,000. Yeah. Well,
250, yeah.
We look at our scoreboard.
So just to ruin your confidence, I believe that there's a bonus component which you did not maximize. You met the goal of 250,000 and got a little bit extra, but not all that you could have gotten.
Yeah.
We broke the max. I'll take
you guys talk to me.
The other part that we didn't cover in this, that's where the quest went. The idea of experimentation is, what if what you were releasing had a component that you wanted to measure? Maybe it was like new buttons, right?
Or hooftasticness.
Yeah, or hooftasticness. And you wanted to see how people interacted with that and measure which one people were going to do the most. Maybe you had 3 buttons on the bottom and you wanted to see on the new release which one would get the most clicks or engagement. Experimentation lets you measure that and have an understanding of, hey, was this new version better than the last one? I think the new version that we released is better than the last one, but experimentation lets you figure that out with data.
Mm-hmm.
And that's us. The journey we've been on, y'all. Welcome to LaunchDarkly.
Is the guy with 250,000 points supposed to listen to the guy in the regular points? Come on. Come on.
Well, he is a point giver, so.
I was going to say, he's the point creator, so.
Yeah, maybe you should actually.
I guess that.
Or we'll put a little rule that says if user equals AM, then no point for you.
Yeah, we could get an individual target there, just targeting me, huh?
You can just hard code it in GameDay.
Wow! So every game day I play, I'll just log in incognito mode, and I'm sure that'll. You have to get a list of all the IP addresses that I could possibly log in from to truly.
You still have to log in with your Amazon email, so.
True. All right, you could get me. You're right. Okay, James, I'm going to take your screen off here, and maybe we can just talk through some of. Or were you doing something? Sorry.
No, do what you got to do, brother. Do what needs to be done.
So Cody,
good.
Cody, did you want to talk to us a little bit about? We saw a bunch of things that we didn't actually end up using in the quest. I think we got really, really great usage out of LaunchDarkly in the quest, but then I saw a few things like context we took a peek at, right? Did you want to talk through any of these things here too that weren't featured necessarily in the quest? Like,
yeah, we'll do a quick drive by. Go and pop into any of the feature flags, and I'll do a quick drive by as we cruise towards the end of our time together. Okay. So on the left side, we've hung out in the feature flag dashboard the entire time. That's where you're turning things on and off.
Wow, I didn't see. James's description. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Cody. Did you see this?
I like it. I feel good about it. Context we talked about, that's understanding the users connecting or the systems connecting to you. Segments are how you group users together. So if I wanted to make a segment for my US West users, I could do that inside of there, create a rule that groups all of those users together, and then I can target that instead of individual people or writing individual rules within. It's creating like repeatable building blocks, right? So segments can be used over and over again across projects.
Could I ask, Cody, do you use context and segments primarily in the targets and rules? Is that
for the most part? For the most part, that's the most. I mean, everything revolves around the context of someone coming in, but you use them most inside of the targeting area. Experiments we touched on just a minute ago, so I won't go through that again. Live events is kind of fun. If you go in there, you can actually see people connecting and evaluating flags, but it only shows while this screen's up. So if you tab out and you toggle it, it's not gonna, you can't be on both screens at the same time. So that's a live view into everything that's happening inside of your environment. Super helpful for debugging. Audit log is all who changed what when, so you can go in and see all the changes that people have made inside, right? All of the ways that this has been adjusted over time. Integrations is cool because it's all the different platforms you can tie into, right? So people have their own workflows, workloads, like ways they integrate inside of the business. These are all different stuff. Hey, shout out to Kinesis. We have an integration there too. So you can ship out flag information and evaluation information out to Kinesis for analysis. So these are all our integrations.
Nice.
Pop back into the feature flags. One that we didn't get to do in here that I really wish we would have, go back into any of them, is the workflows that you create in a full process around a release. So wow. Progressive rollout's my favorite of them. You could have it do a percentage of your users every day, every week, over time to release a feature, right? So if you want to do 10% a day and measure how it's performing, or if you're suddenly getting more issues, you can set that in here. It's great. And you can save these workflows and reuse them on feature or future releases. So it's super useful for creating, again, automated process. It's all cool when you can pop in here and do toggles and turn them off, but when you can let the system manage itself, to James's earlier point, that's just awesome, right? The system manages itself. So these are all different workflows that you can create. Really cool. Yeah. The other one I'll mention, go back, scroll up a little bit.
You got it.
Insights is just information into flags. Experiments we talked about, variations we talked about. Code references is low key, really cool. And it's not set up in here, but what this does is let you see where in your code feature flags live. So when you set up this integration, it lets you see this feature flag is in these 3 files inside of your project. So if you're done with the flag and you want to see where it's at and remove it, you have a very quick way to find that. Yeah, it's pretty great.
How does it know that, Cody? Like, because this is the code itself that uses a flag. If site release, then do whatever.
Yep.
How does it know? Oh, is there like an agent installed or something?
Yeah. So for example, like in GitHub, we have a GitHub action that runs that will send the data back into LaunchDarkly. So it's just configuring that. But it's great for getting visibility. In a corny way, I love it for helping people learn your code and learn the code base, right? If I'm a new employee and I can go into LaunchDarkly and very quickly pop into code references and see how they're using it, that makes it a lot faster for me to start understanding like the nuanced details of how the code works. I love that. We mostly use it for like lifecycle stuff. And there's a bunch of other things, but this was the fast drive-by.
I think tangentially related maybe to the code references side too is Robert Tables says their favorite feature is cleaning up old flags.
Yep.
So
life cycle's tricky. So yeah, totally.
Very cool. Very cool.
And that's us. That was our journey.
I love it.
I'm sad it's over.
What I really love, maybe the most, is this right here. I just feel very accomplished today. Okay.
Whatever it takes, AM. Whatever it takes.
That is the Degrassi motto. You're right. Whatever it takes. Degrassi High, not Degrassi Junior High, just to be clear. I know some of the Degrassi purists out there would be like, wait, what's he talking about? Yes, Drake is in that series. Whatever it takes is the theme song. as you know, James, as a Degrassi purist. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So we were playing game day all day. If you're just joining us now, you missed us. But that's okay, because this is going to turn into an on-demand video right after the fact, and you can start from the beginning and watch me. I am not even going to say stumble through this quest, because I don't think I stumbled too much.
No, you did well.
Wow.
Look at that. I'm fishing for compliments, and I got quite a bit of them. Thank you. So what is a game day? We talked about that in the beginning, but I always like to round out to, if you didn't see throughout the game that we played today, game day is really all about getting experience in a risk-free environment, right? I don't think we talked about that very much. We talked about it a little bit. James mentioned, oftentimes when you are working on problems like the ones that are included in game day, it might be 3 a.m. and it might be your production system, and you might be having one of the worst days of your life. And that's not a very good, conducive environment for learning new things. You may forever remember what you have done during that because of the stress, but game day gives you a simulated version of this where you can actually take your time, go in and learn these things and explore on your own too. That's one of my favorite things about game day, is that you could come in and you can take your time and you can actually go investigate. Like what I loved about this quest in particular, Cody and Melina, you had documentation links all throughout it, right? That's something that's a sign of a really great quest, in my opinion, because it gives the person the option to go read and learn instead of maybe enacting the AM YOLO method, which is just clicking around, or both, like a combination, right? So I think that's really, really awesome about game day. And this quest in particular had a really good set of those hallmarks. I want to ask you both, Melina and Cody. First off, very, very interesting, obviously, that we have partners building out game days. I think we've got quite a few partners that have built game days. We'll be having more partners on the show playing their game days. Cody, from the partner perspective, what was it like building a quest, and why did you all decide to build one? Other than it was great, right? It was. Just kidding.
Obviously.
I think we LaunchDarkly is part like the dev tool space, and anytime you can give people a chance to actually use your tool and do something with it, you're better off for it. Simulations are fine, but like people want to be able to explore around. You want to be able to click around the UI and explore and see what this thing does, and you want to be able to turn it on and off. You want to give the URL for your website to your friend and tell them, hey, watch when I turn on the database how it changes. And so it was an opportunity to let a vast, huge group of users try it out and actually see that it's real. Because like when you go to the marketing website and you read the high level of like change the way you release software, that doesn't always tell you like the detail of that and let you see that it's real. But I think you guys saw like it's a real thing. Like it's actually like there's not a lot of smoke and mirrors there. You push code with feature flags in it, and then you have control over it. So that was why we built it, and it was a great experience. And Melina and I have been talking on Slack for months now about these things. So I had tons of support, tons of help along the way. Honestly, when I showed up to do the game day, it was like running into a bunch of family. It was a blast. Like it was a great experience. It was hard, right? Especially the first few weeks of it, figuring out how to do it was tricky, but I'm excited to come back and do it again next year.
Now, Melina, I want to turn it to you as a Quest developer. How do you tell what are good challenges? Like, how do you think through a good challenge? I think this quest was really well paced, and it led you from one thing to the next. How do you organize that?
So we want to make sure that we, set goals basically on what needs to be showcased. If it's a partner solution, then we speak to the partner and just make sure that we're covering, those goals basically. And it's really, we want to make it as fun as possible. That's why we have the quirky unicorn story, and we try to put jokes in there, just to, give it a little bit more of a fun, ambience. The points are very important. People take their points really seriously. Even if they're like in 10th or 20th place, it doesn't matter. They want their points. So, we have to sort of like play around with, how many points, and also make them time based, so that, the quicker you solve something, the more points you'll get. Right. So, I know that might be a pitfall for clickers like you and me. We're all YOLO it too. And then if it doesn't work, then I'll go back and read. And then I'll be like, oh, shoot, I was supposed to do something different. Now I have to, roll back everything and do it again. But it doesn't matter. It's fun either way. So, but yeah, it's the story, like the idea, and trying to make it cohesive from one task to the next within the quest. That's like key. And there's no rule. It's really, like a soft skill, I guess. Like what could make it interesting, what kind of backstory will make it fun and interesting and engaging and so on. And at the same time, trying to, get those goals in that we set in the beginning. So, it just takes trying and seeing how it fits. A lot of like many times we've actually done something and practically completed a quest, and we're like, feels like a workshop. So,
Yeah.
scratch half of it, like scrap it and start over again. Like we've done that quite a bit actually. So, it's just it's just basically trial and error sometimes.
I don't know if people realize it outright, especially if they've never played a game day or just watched it on this show, or even if they have played in a game day before. A lot of work goes into these. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time. These things don't just happen, right? They don't just fall into place. It takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of effort, and a lot of people behind it. So I think it's really cool when we get to have you on the stream, so that you all can talk to the community and they can get to know you and know who's behind the quest that they played and that maybe they loved, right? So always very thankful for you all to join the stream. I'm going to end with one question to all of you. I guess we'll start with James, because I haven't asked you a question yet, James. This is just a generic question, since we spent most of the day learning new things. And that's at the heart of game day, in my opinion, is learning new things. Yeah. What do you do to go about to learn new things? How do you stay relevant in today's IT world?
Well, first, how do I stay relevant? Oh, that's questionable.
I've never been relevant, so that's why I asked.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm just curious.
Who can keep up?
Well, just real quick, speaking to what both you and Melina just said about points and about learning, I think one of the other, and I can be corrected if I'm wrong, one of the other game day developers mentioned that having fun in a game day is not the why we do game days, it's the how. The why we do game days is for the learning. The how is through this fun simulated environment. So as you said, like, when you scrap something and you're coming to it, that's kind of the thought process that I'm getting is, are people learning something? Is this important? And then how are we going to teach those skills? It's through this kind of fun environment. With that said, staying relevant, gosh, it's there's lots of tutorial courses that I go to. We get newsletters in our emails all the time. Playing around is the best way. We have a free tier for external AWS employees, or not external people, that actually gives quite a bit of leeway to actually get in and get your hands dirty and just do tutorials and workshops and stuff. That is the easiest way to have things stick, in my opinion. Just reading about them or watching videos, that's cool. That'll give you the high level information about how to tell people about it, but actually having the skills to use it, get your hands dirty. And honestly, there's tons of free avenues to do it. And that's what'll really keep you sticking with those skills and those new things coming up.
What about you, Melina? How do you learn something new in the tech world?
Well, this job. Because a lot of times we're building quests, and especially now, like we're branching out into things that like I don't usually use. Like last year's reInvent, it was all kinesis, and I think I've done one workshop, I don't know, 3 years ago, and it had maybe a fire hose in it. I don't know. I was going to develop an entire quest around fire hose data stream, like studio analytics, like, oh my goodness. And obviously, if you're building a quest around all of that, you need to know what you're doing. So so that, it's just building these quests that are like touching all kinds of services. That's really where, I have to go and learn it. I'm going to be working on translating the game day content, like in an automated fashion. So I'm going to be learning Amazon Translate real soon, and trying to apply that. So yeah, and now we're basically redoing the entire front end of the game day dashboard. So lots of React as well.
A lot going on in the
Team,
game day
right?
team
Right.
right now, isn't there?
Yeah, lots of front end. So if things work, then I like it because you can immediately see, that something looks a lot cooler. But when the problems happen in React, oh my God. Jesus Christ.
I love it.
So yeah. So yeah, this job is basically keeping me on my toes. I'm learning tons of stuff all the time. And then obviously when we're working with partners, helping them with their own quest.
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lot this last year and the year before, of different products that, I didn't really use. I didn't have no idea. I didn't even know what a feature flag was. And it was pretty cool, actually. So I've been brought back into 2022.
What about you, Cody? What advice do you have for keeping up with the changing times? They're always changing.
I'm super fortunate that like the product I work on lets me like experience this kind of stuff and learn this kind of things often. Outside of this, like things I learn from customers or people in the community, I stay pretty attached to like software development community. And so try to keep an eye on trends and stuff. I'm a big tutorial watcher, right? So like I love watching, like I'll binge YouTube tutorials on things. There's a few providers out there that I really like that kind of content from. So generally like staying close to the development community and seeing what's happening, what's going on, and then just hearing customer stories and the way they use it and trying to replicate that. That's like, I think that's an understated thing for people to do, is like when you find something interesting, go and try to replicate it. Go figure out how it's done, take it for a spin yourself, see how they got there. Even if you're literally copying and pasting their code, see the ergonomics of doing it. And like, you'll find a lot of like knowledge in just that little journey of doing that over and over again.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, to me, the thread that connects all of what you all just said is you have to find a motivator. You have to have something that keeps you motivated to learn. Melina's got the role that she's in currently. Cody is out there staying amongst the community. So it sounds like that's your motivator. James, what's your motivator actually?
Mostly on it, just pure curiosity.
Okay.
To be like, and this goes with Howdy Partner, the show we're doing later today. No, actually, like when I see stuff like this, like I said, these ideas where it's like after I hear about it or see it, I go, wow, it's so simple, or that's such a good idea. And then seeing it live, like I do genuinely get like those little goosebumps, or you know what, Bobby? No hashtag marketing. I do get those goosebumps.
No,
I do get excited.
I think he's referencing your Howdy Partner name.
Oh, well, I have to. I mean, I got to. 2 p.m. Twitch TV AWS. But no, actually getting these curiosities, like I'm curious when I see these things and I literally get a smile on my face. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. And then like I want to dive deeper or learn more about it because like reading white papers stuff, all that kind of high level stuff doesn't really, it's hard to actually see what something is. So when you get your hands dirty or you actually get to see stuff like our show here, that's when I get really excited and like want to really dive in. because it's legitimately seems so cool.
I love it. Now, the one thing too, Cody touched on this a bit. The other side, in my opinion, you got your motivator. The other side, to me, that is probably the most important is your community. Right? I have learned more from the people in my life and in my community than I have from anywhere else, and that includes all of you watching right now. I mean, I gotta, not to pander to you all, but I'm pandering to you all right now. I love connecting with you all because I get to see these things actually take shape, and I get to hear about like maybe this theoretical use of feature flags, but then I hear a real story that utilized feature flags and it clicks for me, right? Like I now have something tangible and connect it to a person. And, that really helps solidify the lesson that I learned, right? With these stories that I hear from community members. Anyway, so I have to wrap things up now because we've got to get off the channel. But I want to give us quick shout out to all the shows on the AWS On Air platform. So if you are interested in shows like the one you've been watching, we have a whole gamut of things that you can come watch. We've got a show all about startups with our host, Jillian Ford, who is a startup SA. Incredible host, incredible content. That airs on Tuesdays, I think at 11 a.m. Pacific. You'll see in the outro, we have all our shows listed. We've got a security show with Kyle. We've got Code Corner with me and Steve. Currently, we're covering TypeScript. So we had just finished up some C# with Steve. We're moving into TypeScript with me. And we had covered a little bit of Python prior.
I'm a recent TypeScript convert, like in the past 3 weeks. Recent convert.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
I love TypeScript.
Yes.
I do now. Let me tell you, I do now.
I don't think Melina shares your passion, but that's okay. And we talk about this on Code Corner all the time. We talk about different languages and why you pick different languages. And again, my what I reiterate on that show all the time: find a language that you connect with and just learn it. Like it doesn't matter when you're first getting started, and then once you've got that one, go learn another one, right? Because you're going to get a whole new viewpoint on programming by learning the idioms of another language. Anyway, so we do that show on Thursdays. We do this show on Wednesdays at this time, about 11 a.m. Pacific. We will be playing more game days in the future. We'll have partners. We'll have more Quest developers on. We'll have more AWS heroes. We had Mike Fiddler join us a few episodes ago. He was great. So, follow the channels, come join us and play. Again, we love you all. And don't miss out on James's show coming up in just a few hours on twitch.tv/AWS Howdy Partner, where you've got who? Kaylin?
Kalent is coming on today. Yes. Our partners at Kalent are joining us in the corral.
You got Randall Hunt coming on the show.
We do. Randall Hunt is joining us. He's going to show us all about their version. Well, not their versions. Catalyst using AWS Control Tower.
That's reason enough to watch. Just right there is Randall. Randall, old developer advocate here from AWS who's moved on to Kalent. But if you've been a longtime viewer of the AWS Twitch channels and live streaming platforms, Randall's face has been all over those. Worked with him a bunch. He's a great guy. So go check out that episode. Say hey to Randall for me. And I'll be on Gunnar Grosch's Nordic office hours next Monday, talking all things game day. So go and check that out next Monday. I don't know the airtime, but it's the Nordic office hours if you just find that. Cody, what should people do to go check out LaunchDarkly?
Yeah, there's definitely we have trial on the website you can check out. We're getting some community efforts spun up, so check out launchdarkly.com/community. There'll be some cool updates coming there in the coming weeks. It'll be really interesting. So definitely check that out. We've got a bustling YouTube channel full of this. We're going to be kicking off some monthly webinar stuff next month. It'll have largely be my team going in to do stuff. So I say webinar, it'll be a little bit more builder friendly. A little bit more fun in that way. So check us out though. We want to hear from you. Want to hear what you want to see.
All right. And can we maybe expect a LaunchDarkly Howdy partner episode?
I think so. I think I'm good for that.
I would
I'm
love
good
it.
for that for sure.
What do you think, James?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to have you guys on.
Let's do it. Let's get it set up.
Professionally and personally, I think it's great.
Yeah, I love it.
I'll leave you with the trust fall of application.
Trust fall.
Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. This has been too much fun. We will see you on the next episode of Step Up Your Game Day. And until then, go out, break some stuff.
All right, y'all.
See you then.
Bye,
Bye.
Have a good
everyone.
one.
Bye.